Hello, welcome back to the Earle Wellbeing YouTube channel and some really important and exciting news about hay fever. Are you somebody who is surrounded by these at the moment? Yeah, I buy them in bulk. So much sniffing and sneezing, all the early tree pollen, then of course as we move into the summer, the later grasses, etc. And for years I have really suffered, and I'm talking serious suffering here. So much so that I've been to the doctors, and these are just some of the medications that I've been prescribed over the years. Nasal sprays, eye drops, antihistamines, various different strengths, steroids. I mean, so much that I've even, for my family and me, got this box in my cupboard, hay fever and allergies, because we accumulate so many of these things to try and combat the symptoms. And to be honest, nothing has really worked until I discovered something new, which I am so passionate about that I just wanted to share it with you. And I was looking at these medications, getting them out of the cupboards, just to show you as an example my history here. And I looked at this one. This is a nasal spray, prescription only nasal spray. And the date on it is April 2019. And it's unopened. So what happened in April 2019? Well, I discovered a nutrient called quercetin. And actually this is now out of date, along with so much of this other stuff that I've kept just in case the natural remedies didn't work. I thought I need my medication to fall back on, but I'm gonna have to return all these to the pharmacy for safe disposal because I don't need them. So what I started taking back in 2019 was quercetin complex. This actually is one made by BioCare, which is a company that I love. It's a British, well-established supplement company, very ethical, very trusted. It's one that I came across decades ago when working with naturopaths and professional practitioners. It's very often a brand that they will prescribe. We do actually have an affiliate discount code with them, so I'll make sure I put all the links in the caption. But this is a really good supplement if you are struggling. I highly recommend it. My father, actually in his 80s, he's just got really bad hay fever symptoms at the moment, and I sent this to him, and his sneezing and his nasal drip and everything just stopped. So he was really impressed. This also contains nettle leaf extract, so it's a good one. So quercetin is a natural polyphenol. It's found in lots of different foods, including red-skinned fruits and vegetables, so red-skinned apples. And I can remember when I was really struggling with hay fever, I didn't actually want to eat toast and all my usual things that I was eating back then for breakfast. I gravitated towards making this breakfast bowl. It was almost as if my body was telling me that I needed these things. So I thought I'd share it with you. So I've got here half an apple, and I'm going to grate that, skin and all. So if you're going to make this, try and get the red-skinned apples because they will have more of the quercetin in them. And actually they'll have more of the nutrients and goodness in any case, because as we know, if we eat the rainbow, the brighter the colour, the fruit or the vegetable, the more of the nutrient and antioxidant it contains. So I'm just going to start with a little bit of grated apple, and then to that I'm going to add another really interesting ingredient, and that is lemon zest. Now when I first started adding lemon zest, it was really for the flavour, because it just brings this whole breakfast bowl alive, and you don't want to be without it. Actually, it's a really good addition. But then when I did some research, I discovered that lemon zest also contains, guess what, quercetin. So there we go. So I'm just going to grate, actually I'll use my microplane grater for that. I'm just going to grate a nice generous amount of lemon zest. If you're using lemon zest, always try and buy unwaxed lemons if you can, otherwise you're just grating wax into your food. And it's worth really washing the lemon really well. If you can, give it a little bit of a scrub just to get rid of any residues of pesticides or whatever that might have been sprayed onto the fruit. So that's my quercetin content going into here. Now the main body of this dish is live yogurt, and I'm also going to add a splash of kefir, because you know me, love a bit of kefir. And this actually brings me on to the second really important ingredient, and I have to thank a member of our community here, Anne, because she sent me a link to a new study that has just been published in Science Alert. and it is talking about hay fever and the microbiome. So coming back to the gut, and I guess this all links with histamine, which we know is implicated so much with the activity of the gut, histamine and of course antihistamines as well, part of our immune system. Now what these researchers found were that 4 particular strains of probiotics, beneficial gut bacteria, were implicated in reducing the symptoms connected to hay fever. So the 4 strains are these: Lactobacillus acidophilus, which has been found to reduce hay fever symptoms such as congestion, itching and sneezing, and Lactobacillus rhamnosus, which has been shown to have potential in preventing hay fever development in infants. And rhamnosus, as you know, is one of the strains that I often talk about because it's been shown to be very helpful for women's health, particularly with pelvic health. Then 2 other strains, Bifidobacterium lactis, lactis being the key word there for milk dairy products, and Bifidobacterium bifidum and Lactobacillus casei, it says, have also shown some promise in reducing hay fever symptoms. So where do we find these 4 beneficial bacteria in terms of looking at hay fever relief? Well, plain live yogurt is a really good source. I'm going to use a generous amount in that. This is a really nice one actually. It's made by River Cottage. I particularly like it because it comes in the glass jars, which I then reuse and recycle. I use these as storage jars. Brilliant job. And then I'm going to use a splash of kefir just because I love it. And actually this is a nice one. This is made by Brown Cow Organics, and it is a kefir yogurt. So it's kind of a mix between the two. Again, it comes in a glass jar, and what's particularly worthy of note, it says it's from happy grass-fed cows. And of course we know that grass-fed milk and dairy contains interesting essential fatty acids, things like CLA, conjugated linolenic acid, which you get because the cows eat the grass and that's converted into CLA, and we get that of course in the milk and the yogurt or the kefir. This is also another local one to me. It's in plastic, but I do reuse the bottles, and it's the Dorset Dairy Company. It's their plain kefir. So I'm actually going to add that because the more variety we get, the better. So using different types of yogurts, different types of kefirs, shaking them up, diversity is the key when it comes to the microbiome. But of course, when we're using natural foods, we don't know exactly the strains that are always present, and we don't know the levels, and we don't know the amounts. So having a supplement can be really helpful. And I had a look at all my supplements, and I was trying to find one that contained all these 4 beneficial bacterial strains linked to help for hay fever. And I found one, and guess which one it is? It is the new product from the Naked Pharmacy. It's called Gut Love. Talked about this before, but never in relation to hay fever. So this is a really clever formulation. It's got 19 strains of live bacteria. So that means it's a good general all-round probiotic. But interestingly, for me particularly, and maybe for you if you're a hay fever sufferer, is it has all 4 of these beneficial bacteria, the rhamnosus, the lactobacillus, etc., in there, as well as, what would that be? 14 others, 15 others. So a really good one to take, and I'll make sure that we pop a link in there because of course we do have an affiliate discount code with that as well. Totally coincidentally, I didn't realize that when I was talking about this before, but I'm really thrilled to see it. So I'm going to be taking that as well, but of course I'm still going to be eating this for my breakfast and my brunch. And the last little bit to go in, just to give it a bit of crunch, is some flaked almonds. I love almonds, full of protein. You've got lots of nice vitamin E in here as well. A bit of prebiotic fibre to feed the good gut bugs. If you didn't want to use flaked almonds, you could use ground almonds. I like the flakes because I like the texture. And that is literally it. That's your yogurt, your lemon zest, the grated red-skinned apple, little splash of kefir, and some almonds. And I have to tell you that this, honestly, it is such a great dish. I just love it. Sometimes I just have it as a healthy snack, breakfast, brunch, whatever. Really, really good. Anyway, what do you think? Are you a hay fever sufferer? Have you tried any of these? Let me know. Do pop a comment below. And don't forget to click the subscribe button so that we can have a chat next time I release a video. See you then.